Wadzu Valentino Liberace, known as Lee to his friends and Walter to his family, was an American pianist, singer, and actor. He also did a respectable soft shoe. He was born in West Allis, Wisconsin, on May 16, 1919, to parents of Italian and Polish descent, and enjoyed a career spanning 4 decades of concerts, recordings, television, motion pictures, and endorsements. He was recognized during his career with 2 Emmy Awards, 6 gold albums, and 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He died on February the 4th, 1987, and is buried in Forest Lawn, Hollywood Hills Cemetery in Los Angeles, California. When I was but a little lad, television was just beginning to blossom. Television, at first scorned by the movie industry, soon exploded in popularity and provided a platform for post-war actors, writers, and directors to hone their skills. People like Paddy Chayefsky and Rod Serling led the way for many other talented writers. Shows like Playhouse 90, Kraft Television Theater, and the Philco Television Playhouse proved that television could provide quality programming. I clearly recall, as if it were yesterday, one particular show of the early 1950s, the Liberace show. Through a child's eyes, there was this strange man in glittering wardrobes, giggling at his own jokes. He would then move to his ornate piano and treat the audience to a mixture of classical and popular music. When his show came on, I immediately jumped up to manually change the channel. There were no remotes at that time, to something more interesting like Howdy Doody or Andy's Gang. Later, I watched Liberace on The Ed Sullivan Show, but this time my parents would not allow me to change the channel. As I grew older, the memory of Liberace faded away. He was just a man who played the piano and had a weird act. So as the old saying goes, out of the mouths of babes comes ignorance. Little did I realize just how great a performer Liberace was. At one time, the highest paid performer in the world, Liberace created a niche in the entertainment industry that has been often imitated but rarely equaled. The Nevada State Museum in Las Vegas, Nevada, hosted a temporary display on the life and success of Liberace called Liberace, Real and Beyond. It opened on June 24, 2023, and closes on 29 April 2024. Let's let the display speak for itself. We're at the Nevada State Museum in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we are going to highlight the Liberace exhibit at the museum. Just past the information desk to the right, you will see the entrance to the Liberace exhibit, which is very interesting to see, and hopefully it will be here for a while, I think at least through January. My first encounter with Liberace was back when he would perform on the Ed Sullivan Show. and he'd come out in one of his costumes and play the piano. And then later on, a host of variety shows he would appear too. The thing, of course, that I didn't realize back in the 60s was that he was a concert pianist of renown. And you can see from his history that you could essentially call him a childhood prodigy. Because when we saw him on the Ed Sullivan Show and some of the other shows, he might start out with a classical piece and then he would transition into more popular songs and joke a little bit and just have a lot of fun. So it was more to him than just playing classical music. And of course, he probably met his forte when he came to appear in Las Vegas. And he was probably one of the first resident type performers here. He actually lived here. It had an extravagant house. Actually, it was about 3 houses that were joined together to form his overall house. By the time I found out about it, of course, his house was closed and was up for sale. It has been purchased and some renovation is done. And I think they're giving specialty tours now. And of course, here in the museum, his colorful costumes and other clothing are on display. They're on loan from the Liberace Foundation, which used to run a museum in town, but it sort of fell into, I can't say bankruptcy, but some financial difficulty, and they closed. And his things were warehoused. I think they're trying to open that up some as well. You get a chance in this exhibit to see some of the highlights of his life, both as an entertainer and as well as some home life. as you can see from these photographs here. I believe that's his mother there. This is Liberace cooking at Palmer House, 1948. And thank you. Preparing dinner for his co-workers. And I'm sure I must have seen him in some of these costumes in the past. On TV. And one of his trademarks, the piano, and his sequined suits, his shoes, so if you can, come down to the museum and take a look at some of this exhibit. Some caricatures of him. From The Simpsons and The Family Guy and Bugs Bunny imitating him. Some of the dolls. Slot machine for Liberace, which is appropriate for Las Vegas. And he did not disassociate himself from minorities in Las Vegas. You can see here, this exhibit is dedicated to that. He said, "I enjoy all good people. I don't care if they're homosexual, bisexual, or heterosexual. I don't judge others. Likewise, I don't expect them to judge me." So you can see him here with black entertainers. Hispanic entertainers, Lola Falana, Michael Jackson, he was all in to saying, if you're an entertainer and you're good, I will bring you on and support you. So that's a good thing that he said. So again, if you're in town, instead of just throwing your money away on the strip, come on down and see the Liberace exhibit. I'm sort of running out of time. It's the end of the day and I've been given the 5-minute warning, so I'm going to just hurry up and touch on some of these other things. He was a collector of miniature pianos, and this is part of his collection. So that's it. I'll have to come back myself and do a more detailed look at things.